Hello, everybody, applied economics students. Hope everything is going well as we're headed into the weekend. We are going into week 4 of the course, week number 4. We've already turned that corner, and we are dealing with the last 3 weeks of the course. And I just want to break down a little bit in terms of what's going to be due coming up in week number 4. The protocol, as usual, you will have your video review and your final paper portion section. Those will be your main assignments that will be due, of course. That will be next Sunday. You have your quiz that's going to be due on next Friday, as well as your discussion post. Your initial post will be due next Thursday, with giving a substantive response to one of your peers that will be due on Saturday. So just kind of want to go over briefly in terms of what you're going to be doing. Taking a look at the discussion post here. One of them is called the value-added tax in European countries. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be using this as an alternative to the sales tax collection method that's used in the U.S. You're going to describe how the value-added tax is determined and collected. You're going to discuss the pros and the cons of the value-added tax compared to our current tax system. So just really evaluating the measures of taxation with the European countries compared to how taxation is applied here within the United States. And of course, think about the European Union, how the European Union is structured in regards to their trade. I'm quite sure you could probably incorporate something regarding the EU in regards to their taxation, their value-added tax. So that will be your first discussion post. Your second discussion post, you are talking about GDP, the gross domestic product. So you will go to the website, the link is already included, and you're going to compare real GDP, okay, for the top 10 countries in the world, and you're going to oppose that to the GDP per capita numbers. Also, in your discussion post, begin to tell how the factors of production are available in each of these countries and how they are being used. So think about imports and exports, products and services that countries do rely on for profit, and you will incorporate that into the GDP when you are actually giving your initial response to this discussion post. So think about what brings profit into the country, and what's added in terms of the GDP within that specific country. Moving along here, we're going to deal with the quiz, of course, and I already said that will be due on Friday. So read your materials covering chapters 11 through 14. The PowerPoints, as usual, are available within the learning materials within the week. Moving on to the video review. This is going to be very interesting because we're talking about using inflation. We're going to compare movie prices. So, for example, go back to the 1980s and the blockbuster movies that really came out. And you're going to compare that with the current movies that are being released in the box office. Now, consider this, of course, that COVID-19 over the last year has really impacted the box office. People have not been attending movie theaters as a result of the virus. As a matter of fact, we just see increments of that occurring right now in terms of movie theaters opening up and people feeling more comfortable attending the movies, attending the theaters. Whereas in comparison to a year ago, no one was attending the movie theaters, and that caused a delay, of course, for a lot of new releases from motion picture companies. They were not releasing movies as a result of that. As a matter of fact, streaming became even more popular over the last year, with people being fearful and being skeptical of going to the movie theaters. And so as a result, they were staying home and they were doing the streaming process instead. So consider price inflation. Like, for example, back in maybe the late 1980s to attend the movies. Okay, could have been maybe $3.50 for a matinee and $5, okay, if you attended an evening show. You compare that now, and I believe that it's maybe $7.50 to attend a matinee and $10 or $10.50 to attend an evening show. So that's a prime example of price inflation. So you use the inflation calculator that has been included. There's a link. And then also look at this link in order to do your video project, worldwide box office receipts. Okay, you're just doing a comparison. Okay, and you're going to take the top 15 to 10 movies of all time. You're going to convert those over into dollars as they are interpreted in the previous year of 2020. If you need examples of how this project is to be done, if you have any difficulties, I can give you prime examples of how the project was done through a video presentation. Just let me know if you experience any difficulties, and definitely I would give you assistance on that, and I would give you some examples on how to do this video review and how to lay it out. So that video review, of course, one of your main assignments, as with the previous weeks, will be due next Sunday. Now, moving along, the paper portion. Okay, again, we're talking about GDP. We're talking about the gross domestic product. So this week, what you're going to do, you're going to be writing your section on comparing the gross domestic product along with principal exports and imports. So think about the methods of trading that your country uses, along with the methods of trading that the United States uses. Talk about the growth levels. All right, so you will write 400 to 600, excuse me there, had to sneeze. You will write 400 to 600 words. Make sure that you are using APA format and that you do cite your references, but you are doing a comparison between the United States and also the country that you've already selected to write your final paper portion on. And you will be focusing on principal, imports, exports, and also growth levels, along with comparing the GDP, the gross domestic product. And that will be due next Sunday as well. That is one of your main assignments. So, want to remind everyone of the contingencies that we set forth for this class. Make sure, of course, that with your assignments, along with even the discussion posts, that you're submitting these on a timely manner. When it comes to grading, I normally grade discussion posts on Fridays, since they're due on Thursday evenings. And when it comes to your paper along with your video review, I normally grade those the following week on Tuesday, no later than Wednesday. If you are experiencing difficulties, class, anybody in the class, if you're behind on assignments, feel free to reach out to me. Okay, you can email me, or you can also contact me by phone. All right, and we can work out some sort of arrangements. The one thing that you don't want to do is fall behind right now, not this late in the stage of the course as we're going into week number 4. The further we get into the course, into the weeks, the more complicated it's going to be to try to catch up on missing assignments and work content. So, as usual, my phone hours are 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week. Feel free to give me a call on my cell phone. My cell phone number is listed, of course, in the email, as well as on Moodle, if you need to contact me and talk to me in person. Okay, everybody, as we are headed into our weekend, make sure that it's a productive weekend. The assignments, of course, for week number 3 are going to be due on a Sunday evening. Looking forward to grading those assignments again. And you all have a blessed weekend and blessings on the upcoming week. Talk to you later.